If your WordPress site feels slower and less reliable or more fragile than it used to, even though nothing is obviously broken, you're not imagining it. Most WordPress sites don't fail all at once. They just quietly get worse over time. And if you don't understand why that happens, you'll keep fixing the symptoms instead of addressing the real cause. Let's talk about this. In this video, I want to explain why WordPress sites naturally degrade over time, what actually causes the decline, and how to think about it in a way that stops the cycle instead of feeding it. You don't need any tools here. I want to make sure there's no blame. It's just how it really works. Here's the first thing most people miss. WordPress is not a static system. Core updates keep coming, plugin updates, theme change. You're probably seeing that little twirly icon up in the top, and it always has updates, and you may or may not ever get in there and make those updates. The server software evolves even beyond that, and the ecosystem keeps moving. But most websites don't. They're built at a moment in time, and then they're left to slowly fall out of alignment with everything around them. Nothing breaks immediately. Instead, things get just a little slower over time, a little bit more brittle, and a little harder to reason about. That's degradation. And it's normal. It happens. It happens with my site sometimes. The second issue, though, is how most sites are maintained. Your maintenance is normally reactive. What happens? Something breaks, or you get a page error, the checkout fails, a form won't send, then someone steps in and patches the problem. The real issue is reactive fixes don't restore the system health. They just make the problem go away for now. And over time, those patches stack, complexity increases, and dependencies multiply. Your performance then kind of quietly drops, and you're not aware of it because let's face it, you're not checking your website all the time. I see this constantly, and especially with e-commerce websites. Last month alone, we rebalanced 12 e-commerce websites that were running 30 to 40% slower than they were first built. Not because anything was broken, because nobody owned the system. So one site had accumulated 14 inactive plugins that were still loading scripts on every page. Another had a caching configuration from 3 years ago that was actually fighting the current theme. These aren't edge cases. This is what happens to every unmanaged WordPress website over time. The sites aren't badly built. They're not cursed. They're just never rebalanced. You've got to maintain the site. The third issue, and the most important one, no one owns the outcome. So one person, maybe you're lucky enough to have somebody that updates the plugin. Then you've got another person that manages the hosting. You got a freelancer mixed in that did something months ago. You got a theme developer that wrote code years ago. Are you exhausted? Because I am. Everyone touches the site, though no one's accountable for how all of it works together. So when something feels off, here's the deal. There's no single owner. You've been there. You call one guy, he points to another guy, and then they say the plugin needs to be updated or might be broken, and they need you to contact the plugin developer. Then you get into tickets. Then you get into people's opinions and partial answers. That's when business owners start saying things like, I don't trust my site anymore. I feel like every time I open it up, something's broken. I don't know who to call when things go wrong. That feeling matters. This isn't a technical diagnosis, it's a system signal. When we work with clients, this is almost always the starting point. Their site still loads, still sells, still technically works, but it's fragile. Most of them don't even want to get in it. And I get it. It'd be like getting in your car and just wondering when it's going to break down. But once we take ownership of the full environment and rebalance the system, something interesting happens. The site doesn't just get faster, it gets calmer. Issues stop repeating, updates stop feeling risky, and confidence comes back. That's the difference between reacting to problems and owning outcomes. If you're curious about where your own site stands, we built a free performance audit tool that checks your speed, security, and hosting setup in about 30 seconds. It'll show you exactly what's drifting and what needs attention. This isn't a sales pitch, it's free, just clarity, and I'm going to put a link in the description below. This leads directly to the next misconception. Most people assume performance problems are caused by a specific plugin or tool. They're not. In the next video, I'll explain why WordPress performance isn't about speed plugins at all and what actually moves the needle.